Good evening, everybody, and welcome along once again to OneHubRacing. This is the Prestige tier, and we are at round number 6 here at the Hockenheimring for the German Grand Prix. We've got 3 more rounds left, and it should be very, very exciting. We saw Rafa, who took his first win in OneHubRacing last week, and he's closed up to Blizzard in the championship. Not your usual commentators tonight. Both of them are not here, so I'm doing another week, which is interesting. So you got me again in the commentary box once again, but joining me, I'm not alone this week, luckily. It is one of our OneHub commentators. It is Luke. Hello, Luke.
Hello, Jess. I'm happy to be back again for the second time tonight. I can't get enough of Hockenheim.
Yeah, Hockenheim is pretty much one of those tracks where it's free-flowing. There's a lot of good overtakes. We see some great battles pretty much all the way. And we've seen some great battles in all the other tiers tonight as well. And we got a good turnout tonight. We got 16 drivers compared to like the 12 we had last week. So we are getting there. There's a few drivers I haven't seen in ages actually. We have Paga, Betty and Mia. I haven't seen those in a long time, but all the rest were here last week. And can you give us a status of what the constructors are like? Because apparently Red Bull were meant to be on course to winning, but it looks like they're not in a position to do that right now, as they've had some poor races so far tonight.
Yeah, in the podium tier, Jamie, some of you may have heard, he took his first win in One Hub, which gave Red Bull a pretty decent start to the night. However, it didn't go to plan for them in the precision tier, the one that me and Kieran do. Only 2 points for them in that tier, so that result combined with what's happened in Pinnacle means that they cannot do it tonight, although they are still in a fantastic position to do it next time around.
Yeah, the Red Bulls, we've got Blizzard and we have got Odems. I don't think Odems is here tonight, so we just got Blizzard in the Red Bull. So Blizzard did get a disqualification last week in Belgium, but he overcome to get P4 as well. And Blizzard loves this track. I've seen him perform in other leagues. He's done very well, and he's 3 tenths behind the pole time. But the pole time is still pretty good right now, with a mere 110.2 already. So it's going to be tough for these guys to beat those times. And obviously with the 2-stop strategy in Germany, anything can happen.
Yeah, especially if there's any rain added into the mix as well. That just makes it even more exciting. Unsurprisingly, most of the drivers using the ultra soft tyres. We have those, the softs and the mediums available today. So in a nice dry race, I'd expect those inside the top 10 starting on the ultra softs and having to go for the softs on their final 2 stints. If you're further down the grid, maybe start on the softs, try and get a bit of a longer first stint, especially if anything happens in the first lap. That turn 1 has seen plenty of incidents over the years. Maybe you can go for something slightly different.
Yeah, and we've seen in the last few races in all the tiers, and I think we've seen it in your tiers as well. It's very unpredictable. You never know when they're going to go on to the next lot of tyres. Will they go and do 2 sets of ultra softs, or will they do 2 ultra soft softs, or ultra soft mediums? You never know what might happen here. So that's the beauty of ultra soft strategies here in Germany. And last time about, we did see an all-German podium with Rafa, Lakitu as well. So, and they could be on course to get an all-German podium tonight. And if they do it tonight, it will be at their home race. So that will be sensational, won't it? But it's going to take some beating if they want to do it tonight in their home race.
Yeah, I'm sure the Mercedes drivers will be hoping that they can do it at their team's home race as well. Josh, one of the race premium drivers here at One Hub, and Francis at the moment. They're both just outside the top 10 at the moment, but that's not always the worst position to be in. They will have free tyre choice, of course, for the race.
Yes, that is what the bottom half will be doing right now. They get freedom, of course, but it won't affect them that much because obviously it's a 2-stop, but if it was a 1-stop, it'll probably affect them quite a bit. As we've got 7 minutes to go, quite a few people are going into the pit lane, and I think Lewis is looking for a better finish this week as he retired last week due to the pretty much started off with rain, then it went to dry, and then when it went to rain again, or it was the other way around, I can't remember. It was pretty intense. And whoa, look at Blizzard! Oh my God, that was quick. 110.0. He's a machine. I did say he was quick on this track, and Luke, I wasn't wrong here. He is insane.
Yeah, when qualifying as close as this, I mean, that 2 tenths is a huge gap. It's the same as the gap back from Lakito to Leon. He's only 11 points ahead at the moment, so we'll be hoping, obviously starting on pole gives him the best possible chance, but there's a long run, of course, down to turn 6 at the hairpin, so maybe if some of the others can get a good run on him. Rafa, he's currently second in the championship, just 11 points behind, and some of the other drivers, Jay and Wayne, they still have a chance as well, but it's going to be a lot tougher for them. But Blizzard, he'll be hoping he can keep it nice and clean. It's all in his hands at the moment.
Yep, he's leading the championship by, I think, let me just look, 11 points. So it is not quite comfortable as it was last season with Julian when he took it in USA last season after Blizzard unfortunately retired. I think it's probably going to come down to the smallest of margins, and I think it could be anyone's game. Rafa's on good form at the moment. He's closed up to Blizzard quite a lot as well, so it's just a nice rivalry between them both this season. Blizzard was mainly getting the wins, with a few other people getting wins as well, but we didn't see Rafa get wins. But Jacob Tex took a win in USA as well. I think he was the only other person apart from Rafa to get a win as well. 109.9. I haven't seen 109.9s in ages, so Jay's could be a threat as well. And all the top 15 separated by 1 second, so sensationally close all the way towards the end. It is do or die for these guys. They're going to dive into the pits now, go the final distance, and they got to make sure they don't wear their ultra softs too much. But you never know. They don't have to wear their ultra softs too much because they can do a short ultra soft stint, and it won't matter due to the 2-start.
Yeah, expect to see some of these guys pitting around about lap 3 or 4 at the start of the race. Be interested to see if we see any teamwork going along. There is a lot, as I mentioned, the long, not quite a straight, you do have the parabolica, but the long run to the hairpin. Just a bit of slipstreaming, that could be the key here to improving a lot of positions, especially in that midfield area. Josh, Samster and Wayne separated by just over half a tenth of a second at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see if Wayne can help Rafa get further up the grid.
Yeah, both the Renault's boys did really well last race. Wayne did absolutely superb, and he looked very strong out there. He was very close to getting driver of the day along with Blizzard, but it was Rafa and Lakita who got driver of the day contenders, and then there was Rafa that won it. So Wayne definitely forced to be reckoned with as well. And Amir is looking quite strong. I think I haven't seen him last week at all, so it might be his first race here in OneHubRacing. I'm not entirely sure, but he's looking quick right off the bat. 89,000. Just look at the gap there. Now, a few turns to watch out for. Turn 1 could be very tricky out there tonight. We've been asked to watch out for that quite a bit. And also, we've got turn 6 as well, to the Parabolica straight. This is where we see a lot of overtakes. It's likely to be the main overtaking spot during the race, but running wide, we do see a lot of people running wide around that turn, so watch out for that.
Yeah, also we've got a great opportunity to get the cutback all the way through the next complex. Quite often you see battles running all the way down there, perhaps even all the way back to the start line, the first DRS zone. So out of all the tracks Herman Tilke's redesigned, I said this earlier on, this is definitely one of my favourites. Felt like he did a good job. It's kept some of the character of that famous old Hockenheim circuit, all 7 kilometres of it, through the forests here in Germany. Although this is not exactly a new track now, it's been around 17 years now, this redesigned Hockenheim.
I do believe it was 2002, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 2001. I was 1 year out, but there we go. But yeah, it's made a lot of changes over the years. And there wasn't Hockenheim last season, I believe. So this is the first time it's had a gap in a while. And hopefully we won't see anyone bottle like what Vettel did last year in real life. As France has just gone past the corner. Luckily he didn't bottle it, so that's fine. He's going on his next flyer lap as we've got 2 minutes 16 left of qualifying. It's going to be close between Blizzard, JTEX, and the top 4 especially, even the top, pretty much the top 10. Literally any one of these guys can get past how close it is. They just give it all they got. They just got to find a few attempts and they can do it. So Usually I can call straight away who's going to get pole. Tonight, I don't think I'm going to call it. It's the closest qualifying I've seen in this tier this season.
It could very well be the last person across the line gets the most grip on track, and whoever finds the best space in the traffic. I mentioned there might be some teamwork together. Samster at the moment on his outlap, just following Jesse at the moment, and Blizzard, I think, trying to get past the two Ferraris because he doesn't want to be that close to them. You don't want to get caught out. We saw that happen to Verstappen in China, and he ended up not being able to set a lap time, so hopefully everyone will be able to get at least one final run in qualifying.
Yes, they will. It's not going to help Blizzard, to be honest. I think Blizzard also got held up in traffic by some other cars as well during one of his laps, but that hasn't stopped him producing the second fastest lap of qualifying. But he's going to have time, but he's slowing down at the moment, so I don't, he's not trying out yet, but he's going to try out on the final lap, so he's going to wait for the last possible moment, but it's probably not going to help any other guys. Sam Pitto and the other Williams, he needs to get a move on, really. He hasn't set a lap time yet, and he's got one more lap to do it. He's going slowly at the moment, so he's got to get this act together, because usually it's kind of like one-shot qualifying, really, to be honest. If you are at the back of the field and haven't set a lap yet, and you're still waiting for the last possible moment, it could be a high possible chance of you getting validated. So he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, interesting how he's gone for the soft tyres as well. Because I think with a two-stop strategy, you just go for the fastest tyre possible in qualifying. But maybe if he gets into the top 10, it could work. Although I think it's going to be a challenge for him now. We're going to see the checkered flag come out any minute now. Will anyone else be able to improve on Jay's time? He's the only man in the 1:09 at the moment as the checkered flag is out.
Has anyone been in the 109s tonight, or has Jay Tex been the first one to get in the 1:09? I think he is the first one. So that is pretty good going from the Haas. He was almost going faster there, but I think he just clipped the curb a little bit. Can he go faster again? Oh yes, he does. Whoa, that's insane lap from him. He's going even quicker. How about Blizzard? Can he go quicker than Jacotex? No, he can't. But he's the second one to get in the 1:09. He's 18 thousandths of a second. And here's the next person to cross the line. Can he do it? Cross the line. Only third, but still close again. He improves. Rafa, unfortunately, cannot improve. I think his lap time invalidated. I'm just seeing who else can improve. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake from the key too. I don't think he's going to improve. How about LR Betty? I haven't seen him at all. It might have been a change of game attack. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think anyone else could be on a fast one. But let's go on board with Lakitu. Going across the final four. He got his first podium last week. Could he have a best chance? Oh, only fourth. Be improved by 1/10. So nobody was able to beat Jacotex, but Blizzard really improved on his lap there to make sure that he can bring up a fight for Jacotex. But Blizzard's rival Rafa is only 6th, so that's going to look good for Blizzard right now.
Yeah, it just shows how close it is. So Rafa's only 2/10 off his main title rival, but that is 4 places around what is an extremely short and fast track now. And with it being so close, I think these first couple of laps are definitely going to be ones to watch. Expect, as Jess mentioned, turn 6 for hairpin, especially when DRS is activated after lap 2. That's where we're going to see a lot of action. I wish we could just have a camera poked on that spot for the entire race.
Yeah, I literally can't wait for the race to begin. I know you guys are as well. So let's get the standings underway. We've got Jacotex on pole by Blizzard in P2. We've got Amir in P3, Lakitu in 4th. Josh, a good result there in P5. We've got Rafa in 6th, Lewis in 7th, Jesse in 8th, Samster 9th, Wayne. Not the best qualifying result for him. He will start in 10th. And we got 3 choice of tyres from Betty in 11th, then Leon in 12th, Francis, Ollie, Paga, and Samu did set a lap time, thank goodness, on the ultra soft there. And the top, apart from Samu, everyone really close by a second there. So it should be. I think turn 1's going to be interesting potentially, and turn 4 as well. It's just going to be action on the first lap. But don't forget, if you agree with me, it's not one in the first lap. So these guys are definitely got to be careful, because otherwise stewards' inquiries will be coming in after the race.
Yeah, if Blizzard and Rafa, I think especially, they've got the championship to fight for. There are still others who have got a chance, but they're the only ones who are really in with a realistic shout of becoming the prestige tier champion in season 13. They don't want to get involved in too many incidents, but some of the drivers around them may be thinking these two have got a title to fight for. They're going to have to be a bit more careful. You could see some optimistic moves on these first few laps. Everyone tries to get further up the field, especially those starting outside the top 10. They'll be wanting to use their fresh tyres to great effect.
Yes, they will, and Blizzard doesn't have the advantage of any tow from his teammate Odems, unfortunately. But whereas Rafa has advantage from Rain, so couldn't Rain go from the bottom of the field to get closing up to Rafa and really play to the strategy? And can Rafa really gain those positions on the starting line? Because P6 is not his best starting point, but he's really good at gaining positions in the race. So you never know. And usually in Germany, it's not usually one from pole to go on to win the race, really. So it is anyone's game here, as we're waiting for the drivers to ready up and put their setups on ready to go. So it's not very long to go. I'm going to put you on the spot. Who do you think is going to win the race today?
I'm gonna go for Blizzard. I think he's just gonna take it nice and easy. Just maybe he won't push as hard, knowing that his main rival's behind. Maybe he'll be able to save his tyres a bit longer, and that could be all important towards the end of the race. So I think Blizzard's gonna take it.
Yeah, I think it's between Blizzard and Blizzard. I think because Blizzard's known for doing well on this track, and he's good at getting launches off the line really well as well, and he can pull up massive gaps as well. But I think it's going to be close, I think, between the top 6 especially. So we don't know, as we already got our first disqualifications of the formation lap. That is interesting. So let's look at the bottom half of the grid for tyre choices. They've all gone for the softs, so they might be going backwards and maybe going from soft to ultras, or soft mediums, ultras, I don't know. But it is unpredictable. That's what we like here in Germany. The weather right now, it doesn't look very sunny. It looks very cloudy at the moment. We haven't had any indication from any of the drivers about what the weather's going to be like here. So we are going to be in an unknown, just like you guys are in the chat right now. So be prepared to watch 34 laps of insane action. Can Jay get the launch that he needs and take his second win in OneHubRacing for the Haas team, who is currently, I need to check, I don't know where they are in the championship, but they are quite in a good touching spot in the championship if Jake Tetz gets the win. You never know what's going to happen.
Haas were 4th at the start of proceedings. Westy in the precision tier, he's earned the vast majority of their points. As always, this stream is sponsored by Next Level Racing. Feel free to check out their range of simulators and use the code OneHub10 to get 10% off.
Yes, as we're waiting for the last guys to go on the grid, make sure you do get something from Next Level Racing. We do appreciate them, and a lot of drivers get stuff from there. As the lights are about to come on, then we've got Jade Tetz on your right hand side, and we've got Blizzard on the left. Who's going to get the best start? We've got 5 red lights here in Hockenheim, and we are about to rev them up and go. And looks like it's a pretty even start, but JTEC's got the better launch into turn 1. Blizzard had quite an awful start there, as he's going to be under pressure pretty soon. As already we're starting to see Ollie's out of the session. We have contact for both Leon and Ollie, so not the best to start from them. We did say turn 1 was going to get pretty hairy. That was pretty hairy from those two. So we could see, oh my word, so many. Oh, you got Jesse, you got Francis, Lakitu's been involved. Oh my god. So it must have been turn 3 and turn 4 instance there. We thought we were going to get clean with no incident, but so far the guys near the bottom, they need to get it careful there. But all these scenes start changing positions already.
Yeah, Rafa's had a fantastic start. He's moved up 3 places earlier on tonight. Turn 2 and 3 caused a lot of trouble. I think a few drivers have just been taking it so careful through turn 1, just letting out all the frustration at the next corner. Lakitu said it's going to be all dry for the race, so they'll be hoping that should make it a lot simpler for them. Blizzard all over the back of Jay now. He's not going to be able to do anything through this section, and the dirty air just might affect him, and that might affect his tyre life, of course, as well. But he'll be hoping to do well as Wayne gets himself a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. he's been involved in a contact with Josh, I feel.
Yeah, Josh, I think, is another person that dropped massively through that start there. Let's just look at positions as we've had Josh, Jesse, Wayne, Leon. Oh, Wayne's gone as well. So we lost Wayne out of this as well. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the pits already in the end of lap 1. Blizzard is on the charge for the lead of this race, as they're both going to be battling right now. And if these two don't get a move on, Rafa could be right on their tail pretty soon.
Yeah, the advantage, of course, of these two stop strategies being compulsory is that all those guys who have pitted with damage early on, it's not really affected them that much. Samster's come out ahead of those guys. He's in 9th place at the moment. Sam looking pretty good as well in 6th. He's on those soft tyres that he qualified on, of course, as well. He was looking pretty good despite starting in last position. This race could come towards the Williams driver, but Blizzard still hounding Jay at the moment for the lead. They will have DRS next time around. This could get very spicy into the hairpin.
Yeah, watch out for turn 4. It's going to get absolutely spicy indeed. And Leon and Jesse has just retired as well. So we're down to 13 drivers then. It is getting absolutely hairy between these guys. And I think for the majority of these guys, they will most likely get points than not if this thing stay as they are as finishers. But Blizzard's going to probably get his best chance possibly either right now or in the next lap when DRS it will be enabled then. It actually is enabled now. So he's going to have another chance potentially going into potential turn 7 and 8 as well. And we also got an intriguing battle for P4 and 5 as well. Amir and Lewis quite close together as well. Amir on the back of Rafa and Lewis on the back of Amir. So this is a really good train here on these opening laps.
Yeah, Amir, he won't be wanting to attack Rafa too hard because he knows if he makes a mistake, Louis will just be able to take advantage. As long as they keep in DRS zone of each other, that's going to help these front guys all stay together and just help them get away from those that have pitted. Samster's still the highest out of those that have pitted on the medium tyres, but something I've seemed to notice this season is those medium tyres definitely not the best ones to be on throughout the race.
Amir just spun there. He had a little bit of an unfortunate issue, so he has dropped down. I think he's dropped it down into 6th place. So a good showing for the Williams driver this turn, not to be, unfortunately, as Amir's dropped it. And whilst we were seeing that, Blizzard launched up around the inside of Jacotex and he takes the lead of this race, but Jacotex is still right behind him, and that DRS is definitely powerful, and that is what Blizzard has shown us just now. Great move from Blizzard there.
Yeah, Jay, I think saw that move coming early on, didn't really bother fighting. Wouldn't surprise me if Amir just clipped the inside curve a bit too much at turn 1. Very easy to spin the car around doing that, but he'll be able to pick this lap, I imagine, and get rid of those very worn ultra soft tyres now. And he's still got a good chance in this race. We see Josh getting a 3-second time penalty, so it's not gone to plan for that Mercedes driver. Francis in 8th position at the moment. But Blizzard, will he be able to pull away from Jay now as we see Rafa come into the pit lane, the first one of the front runners?
He had to respond, didn't he, with Blizzard and Jay Tex making the move there. Rafa was looking to see if he could gain the advantage on those two by pitting early. He's going to go onto the soft tyres as predicted. So it's looking like it's going to be a soft strategy coming up for you soon as well. So I wonder what Rafa's going to gain from this. Are we going to see faster times from the soft runners? Will we see the ultra soft tyres start to die? We'll have to wait and see. We'll keep an eye on Rafa pretty soon as well. J-Tex almost closed into Blizzard there, but Blizzard is having just such great pace at the moment. Another person going to the pits as well. Amir's going into the pits. Well, he had to change his front wing, and so has Josh as well, who's gone into the pits. So 3 of the people that have been on those tyres for pretty much the whole race have dived into the pits now for their third stop. So pretty much it's only the top 4 and also potentially Betty and Lakitu, who's still yet to pit, as Lakitu is challenging Betty for P7, and as he got past him quite convincingly there. Oh, Betty's going to go around the outside into turn 6 down the hairpin. And Lakita manages to fend really well for his life. Betty going around the outside again. Braking before the 100-meter ball. This is going to be a very tight exit to get right. But Lakita defends very nicely there. And whilst all that's happening, our leading bunch are all going into the pits now. Can Rafa get ahead of these guys?
Yeah, Rafa, he'll have more temperature in his tyres, of course. You can see him coming around turn 1. Blizzard has it to stay within the right line. Interestingly, James managed to get back ahead as well. Rafa down the inside into turn 2. He's got the move done, but he's going to be very susceptible to the DRS now. Coming along, Blizzard, we've seen how much straight line speed he's got. Jay opens DRS. Rafa going defensive on him. This is going to be 3 wide down the straight into the hairpin here. Rafa on the inside, Jay in the middle, Blizzard on the outside. Jay breaks latest. He seems to have got the move done. Rafa trying to cut back. Can Blizzard get them both? It's going to be very close through the next section, Jess.
Oh my word, this is absolutely insane. But Blizzard's going to have another chance now, but he couldn't quite do it for now. As these drivers, they are P1, P2 and P3 in the championship, and they're showing us why they're one of the best drivers in the prestige tier. All 3 of them are the only guys to win this season, with Rafa winning last week, J-Tex winning in USA, whereas Blizzard has won the rest of them. And it's really nice to see all those 3 rivals fighting for a position like that. It's just absolutely great racing. They're keeping it absolutely clean, but J-Tex really controlled that. And both J-Tex had a very good pit stop. Blizzard did not get the bare exit in the pit stop, which really cost him there on those tyres. He's got some making up to do now, and his tyres will be pushed a little bit more now because he's got a battle to try and get ahead of both Rafa and Jake Attacks.
Yeah, all this defending is going to cost them time, of course, so that could allow Louis to catch up as well. DRS wide open again on Rafa and Blizzard. Ooh. Jay thinks about defending the inside, doesn't quite do it. Rafa's got down. Can Blizzard go between the 2 of them? Bit of contact there between Jay and Blizzard. Rafa's managed to get ahead for now. Blizzard, has he got a better exit? He's going to be on the inside for this right-hander, but he's going to have to go all the way around the outside at the next corner. And Rafa just about manages to hold on for now. But I don't think Rafa really had a choice. First time around, he had to dive down the inside at turn 2, but that did make him susceptible to the DRS, of course, on the next straight.
And that move paid off for him as he's now in the lead. And Paga's out of the session as well. So we're down to 12 drivers then. Unfortunately, we can't see how they retired. And we got a virtual safety car, so that must be quite bad. So that is going to help the people that have been on the tyres the longest. So that's going to help the Williams driver of Samu P2 quite a lot here with his tyres to so he could probably pit a few laps later and go on to another set of softs, or possibly go on to ultras a bit later as well, which will really help him. And it didn't go for very long as well, so that's allowing the gaps to close a bit more. Bit of a slide from Rafa there. That's allowing Blizzard especially to try and catch up to them. This is going to be 3 wide all over again. Blizzard gets the inside. Rafa holds on to the outside. Can Jacotex capitalise on their mistake? Jacotex goes around the outside of both of them. Blizzard, what a move. Can Jacotex get the move on Rafa? Yes, he does. So Rafa's lost 3 positions there. Blizzard has gained 2. Well done to Blizzard there. Oh, J-Ted's going to have a look once again around the inside. This is incredible racing between Blizzard and J-Tex. This is the best we've seen them race all season. Blizzard had nothing to answer for there as J-Tex takes the lead once again. Same order as it was a few laps ago. I can't even catch my breath, Luke. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's going to get even more amazing. Louis is right on the back of these now, so we could see 4 wide going into the hairpin. I've got to say, fantastic awareness from Blizzard that time around. I think he saw Jacotex going for the move on Rafa and just took a bit of a wider line just to make sure he got a good exit and didn't get collected by the Haas if he got a bit late. And you can see Blizzard slowing down there to keep behind the Haas. He wants that DRS to give him the best possible chance. Sam doing well out in front though to keep his tyres going. His chance of success could all depend on how long he can hold off that first pit stop.
Yes, I don't know how long the pit stop are going through here, but looks like we got more challenges once again from Blizzard and Rafa. Can they do a bit of a touch from Rafa and Blizzard, but no harm done for the both of them, thank goodness. So they're allowed to continue racing. Rafa's dropped back a bit though, so that's going to put Lewis in the picture for another position gained as well. Sam's 10 seconds behind, so they're not going to join pretty much as well. The guys at the back are pretty much over 2 seconds, so they're not going to be battling just yet unless they go to the pit stops. So Jacotex, he's running super well right now, managing his tyres brilliantly so far. They're probably going to change positions pretty much the whole of this race, so really strategy is going to come into play more than anything to determine who is going to get the podium spots, because there's 4 people battling for the win, but only 3 can get the podium and only 1 can get the race win. It's all to play for here.
Yeah, we saw how powerful the undercut was by giving Rafa a chance as Lewis tries to go round the outside of him into turn 2. This battle's kind of splitting up a bit. Rafa's dropped back from the Red Bull, so Blizzard can focus more on attacking Jay now. Jacotex goes defensive, and they're setting the fastest lap. Blizzard all the way around the outside. Is Jacotex going to break as late as possible? He tries to get back on the inside. Louis and Rafa battling as well, but Blizzard and Jacotex are still battling. Blizzard just about gets ahead now. Will he be able to escape, or will Jay be able to give it another go into the corner? Not this time around, and they have caught up quite a bit on Sam on this lap, so it wouldn't be surprising to see the Williams pitting very shortly. Looks like it's getting a bit brighter out there, so I don't think rain is going to have an impact on this race.
That's going to be a relief for the drivers, isn't it? The conditions are getting better and better, which means the tyres are going to get hotter and hotter, which means the guys on the soft tyres, they need to find the best place, best time to pit for their second stops. But meanwhile, Samuel's going to do all he can. I think he's losing a bit of pace already, because Blizzard is now 7.7 seconds behind. So I think Samuel has really got to pit now, because he's seen the gap coming down quite a bit, and he's not really going to race him. Meanwhile, we haven't seen much battles at the back. We now potentially could see a battle between Amir and Betty coming up soon as well. But the interesting battle we're seeing really Betty!
Betty's lost it out the final corner.
Just
got on the curve out the final corner, slammed it into the wall. That wouldn't be surprising if that causes a safety car. He's off the racing line, but quite a dangerous position there. Just, I think, put a bit too much pace. I think Amir behind him put the frighteners on him a bit, and unfortunately for Betty, another retirement, so we're down to only 10 runners now.
Yeah, I'm just going to see if Amir's got any damage. Doesn't look like he's got any major damage right now. He might have got a bit of damage, but looks like he's okay. And I'm surprised there's no safety car. What is it, game? But hopefully they can avoid that. The main test now is, can Blizzard hold on to Blizzard managing to get the lead then, whilst we were seeing the DNF from Betty then. So he got past Jacotex, but Jacotex is still closing up onto the back of them as well. Rafa's a little bit further behind than the rest of the guys, but he's doing all he can now to make sure he tries to close up to these guys. They're all championship rivals. Rafa doesn't want Blizzard ahead of him, because otherwise it could go in Blizzard's favour for the last 2 races, and the chance of Blizzard getting the Prestige Championship will be more compared to Rafa. We'll have to wait and see as Amir's got a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, Blizzard, judging by how easily he's got past Jacotex twice in this race, I think he's set up that Red Bull to be a lot more slippery, so it's not really a chance for overtaking. But Jay is close here, but just couldn't get quite to the inside. But Blizzard's having to drive defensive here, and that's just going to wear his tyres out a bit more and keep Rafa and Louis in close tension. Unsurprisingly, these are pulling away from those behind them who are on the medium tyres. Such a shame for Amir that he spun out earlier on, because it won't be surprising if he'd be involved in this battle as well.
Yes, he qualified so well, and then he had the mistake a few laps into the race. It would have been nice to see him up there, but he will recover. Maybe he can get to much better results, but he's still in the points. Pretty much anyone in the top 10 now will get points. So if he finishes, that'll be a massive achievement for him, as J-Tex is going to try and look for a move once again. These guys have been battling all race, and they haven't had a chance of pulling away. Jacotex is going to be on line with another move pretty soon as well. And looks like Rafa is closing into it as well. Going into turn 6, the hairpin. Can Jacotex do it? There is a little bit of closeness. Blizzard defends to the outside. Blizzard holds on to P1, net P1 for now, but Jacotex, he is flying on the outside. Blizzard defends from the inside. doing ever so well to fend off Jacotex behind him. Jacotex hasn't won since USA, remember, and he wants to get a second win, whereas Blizzard wants to get more wins to better off his chances, as Rafa and Lewis still battling on for dear life right now, as Rafa is looking for any of Jacotex and Blizzard to make a mistake. It doesn't look like so. It looks like they'll be fighting for laps to come yet before the final pit stop window. And I think my co-commentator's mic might be muted, or he might have left the party. I don't have a clue. I think it's his mic. I think it's mic problem. Oh, are you back?
I'm back.
Oh, thank goodness you're back now.
Just thought we'd add some more drama. I was just saying, Blizzard, with Blizzard and Jay seems to be much better at getting an exit off that hairpin. So I think it's coming into this set of corners now is going to be his best possible chance. But the lap before, Rafa outbraked himself into the hairpin. Otherwise, he'd have been attacking into it as well. It's getting to the point soon where Rafa's going to have to start thinking about making a move. It's no good for him if he's finishing 2 places behind Blizzard. That would make it 21 points in the championship. Still doable with 2 races to go, but not the position you'd want to be in, of course, as Samson's retired.
Didn't see, well, oh, he's binned it in turn 11, but he was off the circuit, so no safety car there. I think that was his own doing, unfortunately. So that makes him another list of retirements. And Rafa gaining his first penalty. That's going to help Lewis quite a bit then. So he doesn't have to overtake Rafa at this stage. He could easily stay behind him, but he wants to get ahead of Jatex and Blizzard right now. I wonder what Lewis will be thinking in this situation if he gets told that Rafa has a penalty. What will Jatex think? He'll have less pressure behind him, but Blizzard wants to defend as Jatex gets the outside once again into turn 6, approaching turn 7. They're going side by side once again. Let's see what happens here, going into turn 8 and then turn 9. Blizzard gets the inside line. Blizzard manages to hold on only just to the lead of this race. Jatex doing well to attack, but defensive driving from Blizzard is second to none right now.
Yeah, penalty situation with the front 4. We just saw Rafa get his first penalty. Lewis also has one as well. Blizzard and Jatex have kept it clean so far. They've each got a couple of warnings, so a slight mistake from either of them, that could give them a penalty and change the view of this race. It's a bit early for either of these guys to pit yet if they want to make those softs last until the end, but it wouldn't be surprising to see Louis or Rafa being the first to pit as Louis runs wide and earns himself another penalty. We all know the power of the undercut in modern Formula 1, and as Blizzard is proving, it's much easier to defend than it is to overtake, although took an interesting line off that corner. He's got a bit of a gap to Jatex now. Maybe this is a chance Rafa needs to try and get himself up into second position.
Blizzard's going to be under pressure now, Luke, because I think you missed it. Blizzard also has got a time penalty, so the only guy is out of the top 4 that hasn't got a penalty is Jatex. And no, he's got a penalty as well. So it's even Stevens, apart from Lewis, has got that extra 3 seconds. So it's even Stevens now. Jatex had the advantage there, and it looks like Jatex gets the move done. And we've got another retirement of this Grand Prix, and that is VSR Josh, who is retired as well. And I think we got disconnection from Francis as well, who is ghosted. So I think we're down to 8 or 7 drivers so far. But it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And we are definitely getting quality of the racing, in particular with the top 4, as Lewis is still on the back of Rafa quite convincingly now. And Blizzard hopefully is going to know that Jatex got a penalty as well, so he can start putting the pressure on him a little bit.
Yeah, I think Jatex got himself 2 penalties on that lap, so I think he definitely started pushing a bit harder, using the advantage, as I said, coming into that Mercedes complex. But just look at the straight line speed on that Red Bull. Jatex having to go defensive. Blizzard's going to try it all the way around the outside. Jatex leaving him just about a car's width there. And he holds on to the position for now. Will he be able to pull a move on the Haas. We saw it happen last time around, but not this time. And while all this is happening, Rafa had a bit of contact there. No damage done though, thankfully.
Yep, he has got no damage by the sound. Yep, no, he doesn't, and I think Lewis is fine as well. So it would be a racing incident. It is like real life where you made a bit of contact, but it doesn't harm any of the guys' races. And that is racing at the end of the day. They just got to live with it. On lap 17, we're almost halfway into this Grand Prix. So these guys will now have to think about their next pit stops. If I was these guys, I think probably Rafa will be probably more smart and possibly trying to challenge pretty soon. But Blizzard's still on the back of Jacotex right now. He's going to try and look any way he can. He's trying to go a bit too ambitious on that move into turn 3, as Rafa's going to have another look as well. Rafa has definitely caught up in that sector then, so he's really going to challenge for it right now. Blizzard and Jatex side by side here. Looks like Rafa's going to get the middle. It's going to be 3 wide into turn 6. Can Blizzard get the edge he needs? Yes, he does. But Jatex is now under pressure from Rafa, but not quite, as Jatex manages to hold on to second from Rafa there. But that's really helped Blizzard, and Louis is almost looked to get that mistake, but he stays where he is for now. But Rafa, on these last couple of laps before the pit stops, has definitely found more pace than most of this race right now. So it looks like he's pushing right now, and he saved his tyres earlier on.
Yeah, Blizzard again, very intelligent. Coming out of turn 1, he knew he was catching up to Jacotex, but just stayed behind him, backed off slightly, and I think that allowed Rafa to catch up with Jacotex coming into the pit lane. This is a bit earlier than I expected for his second stop, so he's going to try the undercut on Blizzard here. This could be crucial for the direction of this race. He's going to have to do 16 laps on this next set of soft tyres, so that is going to be a big ask from the Haas driver. He's got to take advantage of those fresh tyres now. He's come out just behind Sam, so I don't think that's what he'll have wanted. He's going to have to get past him pretty quickly to have any hopes of taking his second victory of the season.
Yes, I thought it was a bit earlier as well. I thought they would pit at lap 21 and 22, and I think the best chance to actually pit on the soft tyres is when it only lasts about 15 or 16 laps. So he's going to have a lot of working to do, and it's going to start to die at the end of this Grand Prix, which is going to put things on the hand of the ones that haven't pitted, such as Blizzard, Rafa and Lewis. In particular, Blizzard and Rafa. Blizzard and Lewis, sorry. They pitted a lap later than Rafa, so they're going to gain more advantage of that. So will any of these guys go ahead of Jacotex? Let me just check the gaps in between the pit stops. It is going to be close between these guys once again. So it is a long pit straight, so anything can happen between these two. And all three of the top three are going to go into the pit. It's a battle of the pit crew. I've just seen the Red Bull of Blizzard go ahead. And I think the Force India has jumped Rafa then. So that was interesting. Always very close between Sam and Blizzard. Jatex not quite getting the launch he wanted, but he's going to get past Blizzard. Almost contact. Sam tries to defend as well, but Jatex just about holds on to the lead. But Willie, as Blizzard is going to get the DRS, Sam and Jatex side by side. Blizzard gets past Sam. Will he get past Jatex going around the inside of turn 6? Looks like Rafa and Lewis are a bit further behind to catch up to this battle now. So I think it's really between Blizzard and Jatex for this race victory now, because the other two are so far behind those pit stops. But that was close. But these two can go racing again. They won't have to pit again. I think the only guys left to stop will be Francis and Samu. Everyone else has done their mandatory required 2 stops. So there's a fight to the end for those guys.
Yeah, unfortunate for Rafa in the pit stops. He just got held back to let the Force India through, and that has cost him. He's in a net 4th position at the moment. Blizzard has dropped back a bit on this lap from Jacotex, but he is still in that DRS zone. Jacotex taking the fastest lap of the race, and all these tyres are going to be well past their best towards the end of the race. But of course, they don't wear it hard now. They have got a lot less fuel on board. And will Blizzard be able to attack for Haas, knowing that he hasn't got Louis and Rafa close behind him. He's got a bit more freedom now. Could afford to perhaps brake a bit later, and if he does overshoot slightly, it's not going to cost him a position.
He's going to be in less pressure, and he wants to go for more moves. He's not going to worry about the drivers behind. The drivers behind are pretty much going to have their own battles pretty much. So that's going to help Blizzard challenge for the victory, and he knows Rafa is pretty much fifth anyway. So no matter where he finishes, it's going to help Blizzard. And Jacotex in the championship, let me just check, is third with before this race with a 30-point gap. So it is not as tight as Rafa and Blizzard's going to the final stages. As the final 2 rounds, the maximum points on offer will be 50 points going into the final 2 races then. So Jacotex, if he gets his win here today, it can really still put him in the championship fights. Blizzard goes faster than Jacotex that lap, so Blizzard is catching really well indeed. Lewis still on the back of Samu then. Samu still yet to pit, of course. Samu has really got to make the judgment call right here and right now.
Yeah, he'll be hoping to go as long as possible on the mediums. He'll be looking very good at the end of the race on those ultra soft tyres, but fortunately for him, no fastest lap point in 2018. As Amir has now, he's retired from the race, so we're down to just 6 runners. Louis and Sam getting very close out of that hairpin. Sam might be on older tyres, but he's defending for his life at the moment, and this is just going to give Rafa a chance. Louis dives down the inside, but he's ran wide there. He'll have to give that place back. Him and Sam still side by side. Rafa doesn't want to get caught up in this. There's a lot of wheel banging going on here. This is more like touring cars than F1 at the moment. They're still close together, and this just allowing those two out in front to escape. And as Rafa's got down past both of them there, he took advantage of that.
Samuel making a big mistake there, massive corner cut, and he's dropped it massively there. Those mediums are really not going to help him a lot as they're on newest tyres, Rafa and Lewis. So Samuel would have been best to let them through, and then he could have gone to the pits for a fresh set of rubber and try and catch up to these guys. But yeah, 6 drivers already in this Grand Prix. It reminds me of Belgium, to be honest, where we're in a similar situation. And Amir is not happy whatsoever. It could have been a very good Grand Prix for him. And to be honest, at this rate, it's still going to be a 3-way fight as Lewis is going to go right on the outside of Samuel. Can he do a bit of touching again? Wheel banging. Rafa's pulling away from these two then, so that's allowing Rafa to pull away and try and catch up, which is good for him. Rafa could be on for P3 of this race then. Lewis has still got 2 seconds worth of time penalty, so that's going to put him at a disadvantage compared to his rivals as well. Oh, he clipped the wall a little bit there as Lewis gets another one. That's him down to up to 9 seconds worth of penalties, so a clip of the wall really didn't help him there. So that is allowing 5 seconds now separate between the top 2 and Rafa. So money on the win now. I think it's only going to be a 2-horse race now.
Yeah, Rafa will be hoping that these two somehow get collected up with each other. Did the best thing just hanging back from Sam and Lewis. I would be unsurprised to see one of them take that to the stewards. There did seem to be a lot of contact made between them, and in the end they've both lost out as Blizzard again just round the outside before they've even got to the hairpin. He takes the lead of this race with 10.5 laps remaining. Will Jacotex be able to fight back at his favourite part of the track that he just seems to be a bit too far behind this time around? But for him to really have a chance in this championship, he has got to go for this win.
Yes, I think these two right now are definitely contenders for driver of the day because they've been battling all race with no sign of stopping, and they've been doing absolutely sensational lap times, and they've been able to keep in close proximity even during the pit stops as well, which is great. It's great to see. Great rivalry as well. Let us know in the chat who you rooting for the win this race. If Blizzard win this will put him in much higher contention for the championship, and he most likely could get it in the next race, which I do believe is Austria next week before the final round in Silverstone, which is a good track for Blizzard as well. But Jacotex is looking strong there as well, so a very interesting fight between those two going on as well. Jacotex seems to be dropping on Blizzard right now, so Looks like he is starting to struggle a little bit, getting those tyres up to temperature, but Blizzard is having no such trouble at the moment. So JTEX has really got to get his move on if he wants to battle with Blizzard once again.
He has to keep winning a second. That is so crucial. He's got to stay within that DRS zone. As soon as he drops back, I feel like Blizzard just has that extra bit of pace, and JTEX does have 1 lap on the tyres. He has done 6 laps on his tyres. Blizzard has only done 5, as have Rafa and Louis, but they're well back at the moment. Sam's going to have to pit very soon. He's trying to make these mediums last, I feel, so he can go for the ultra softs at the end of the race, but he's going to have to do a mighty job on those tyres because he will drop a long way behind Lakito. It's looking as though it's beginning to settle down a bit in this race now with 9 laps remaining.
Yeah, Blizzard did what he needed to do, and JTEX got his second penalty of the session then, so what was hoping to be another titanic battle between these two, Blizzard is pulling away and JTEX did that corner cut, and that's not going to help him. So JTEX needs to get past Blizzard and find 6 seconds clear of this. Actually, no, it's 3 seconds because Blizzard also has got a 3-second time penalty. So Blizzard's got 3, JTEX has got 6, Rafa's got 3, Lewis has got 9. I'm not sure about the others of Sam, Lewis and Lakito. So looks like they're pretty clean so far. So it's going to be intense as JTEX suddenly found some pace from somewhere. So maybe he's trying to save his tyre life so he can really start to push towards the end, like he did with his first stint from the second stint from the soft to then again the soft. I think that's what he's doing right now. Could it work maybe?
Yeah, Rafa's he's gonna be trying to push as well. He probably doesn't know this, but he just finds another 2 seconds. He could be finding himself in second position. That extra 3 points could be so crucial over the next 2 races next time out in Austria and the final race of the season at Silverstone. Has Blizzard just relaxed slightly? Is he feeling a bit more comfortable, perhaps a bit too comfortable? It's definitely looking good for Red Bull in the Constructors though for next weekend. It stays as it is. They will have won 3 out of the 4 races and they should be odds on to take it next time around. Bit of traffic ahead of the leaders, but I believe that is Francis and he is disconnected at the moment, so he will not block the 2 of them, but might put Blizzard off perhaps, seeing a ghost car ahead. Sometimes it can be a bit doubtful, especially if they rejoin all of a sudden, and that might just give Jay a bit of a chance, clutching at straws perhaps, but Jay will be hopeful that he can get a move done. I can't see him doing it into the hairpin. Blizzard seems too wise to that, so I think he's going to have to go for something a bit unorthodox if he wants to take the win here.
Yes, and to be honest, it could be one next week. The Constructors as early as the podium tier, if the Red Bull drivers can repeat what they did this evening in the podium tier, or any of the other tiers that got a Red Bull win, or maybe one of the other Red Bull drivers on any of the tiers can do it as well. So it is looking like the favourites at the moment. They can't do it today, but almost certainly they're going to do it next week unless any of the Red Bulls have a little bit of a shunt or a little bit of an accident. But it's not looking like that for Blizzard as he's absolutely in control. But he's got to worry about JTEX behind now. He probably knows he's under threat now, but he can't let JTEX behind, but he's probably going to be a bit worried that he might pull away from Blizzard and possibly try to get the win. I don't know what he's thinking right now, because I know JTEX is quick on this track when he gets some clean air. So if I was him, I would try and fend off that, because otherwise you're going to have a Hamilton-Verstappen situation where Verstappen could have pulled away from Hamilton and still got that race win, but he didn't. So it kind of reminds me of that in a way, but instead it's a Red Bull and a Haas, not a Red Bull and a Mercedes.
Yeah, thankfully it's a lot easier to overtake round here than it is at Monaco. Rafa is catching these 2 up though. It's not going to be enough to challenge Blizzard for the win, I feel, but it's only 3.7 seconds behind JTEX at the moment, and maybe that's why the Haas has suddenly got a move on. He could find himself losing second position at the moment. Rafa's definitely broken away from Lewis in 4th, and Sam still yet to pit, struggling a lot on those medium tyres, and then Lakito just going around in 6th position at the moment, but at least he's still in the race. 10 others can't say that.
And J-Tex gets past Blizzard then into turn, 5 and 6 enter. J-Tex takes the lead on track, so J-Tex has got to find the 3 seconds he needs. I think, I'm not sure how many more penalties he's got, but he's got to find at least 6 seconds clear of Blizzard in order to make sure he gets this win. It is going to be a tough task. He's got to find some sheer grip on those tyres. It is going to be, it's going to be absolutely tight for J-Tex to do it, but I don't think Blizzard challenged J-Tex for that due to the fact he knows that J-Tex has got so many penalties. But J-Tex is a man on a mission. He must find some pure pace right now in order to make sure he still gets that win from Blizzard, but it's looking unlikely at the moment as Blizzard once again is going to challenge for the move on J-Tex on track, but stays behind him for now.
Yeah, you don't want to do the move coming down turns 2, 3 and 4 because you're just going to give your rival DRS along the main straight, and that's holding Blizzard up, allowing Rafa to catch up. This is where you want to do it. J-Tex unable to go to the inside, and Blizzard gets it done nice and early. He's able to take the racing line. He takes the lead but locks up slightly, and J-Tex just avoids collecting the back of him. Even though J-Tex has them 3-second extra penalties compared to Blizzard, if I was Blizzard, I'd definitely want to take the win out on track. It does send a message to your opposition.
Yes, it will be absolutely amazing, but to be honest, J-Tex and Blizzard have been fighting all race, and whoever wins out of these two, they're definitely going to be well deserving of that crown. You know, they've been good all race. Shame about the penalties that J-Tex has got, and Blizzard got a few as well. But J-Tex is not giving up. It's not over till the checkered flag falls. He knows that Blizzard might make a mistake. You never know. We've seen in some races in league racing and in real life where people mess up on the final lap and it changes things massively. Watch out in Canada 2011. That happened, and with Vettel bottling on the last lap and allowed Button to take the victory. So J-Tex could not give up at this point. It's going to be a tall order, I must say. The Rafa gap down to 2.4 seconds. He's doing well to catch up to these guys. I think it's going to be enough as Blizzard just tries to defend but couldn't quite do it. As J-Tex takes the lead once again on track for now. But Blizzard once again could challenge him towards 8, 9 and 10 pretty soon.
Yeah, and obviously all this battling as mentioned, just allowing Rafa to catch up. He's in a provisional second place at the moment, but he may not know that. I think this could all come down to the final few corners. It's been a fantastic race between J-Tex and Blizzard all throughout this. Of course, Rafa and Lewis getting involved earlier on, but they just got held up a bit in the pit stops. I don't think tyre life's going to play too big of a part in it. There's only one lap between J-Tex and the other two, although Blizzard has dropped back slightly, perhaps saving his tyres, not wanting to get caught up in the dirty air and just using that DRS to close up with just 3 laps remaining.
Maybe if Blizzard gets ahead in the next lap or so, and then lets J-Tex through in the last lap, then it's not really going to affect him because J-Tex is not able to pull up the gap that he needs to do this. Now, might I mention, we could see a potential disqualification, first disqualification of the season, because Samu hasn't pitted for another set of the softs maybe. He's still on the 1 stop according to my screen, so he could be under threat of disqualification. We haven't seen that at all this season. All of them have followed the rules. Could we see a potential first rule breaker? He might have forgotten that it was meant to be a 2-stop race. That would be very unfortunate because his hard work would be undone. He's got to pit at the end of this lap, otherwise he'll get disqualified.
Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't happened. I'm fairly sure if I was racing I'd have done it at least twice by now, but that's why I'm commentating and letting these guys race. Rafa 3 seconds off the lead now, 2 laps remaining. Blizzard a bit closer than last time around. I feel like he's going to have to go for it, but he's only 1 warning away from another penalty as well, so maybe that's why he's taking it a bit more careful. He doesn't want to get a penalty because that could easily hand the win to Rafa. As it stands at the moment, Blizzard would have an 18-point lead in the championship. one corner cut for Blizzard, and that could easily change to a 4-point lead. So he's got to play it careful, but he wants to take the win out on track.
He really does. He can't afford to push too much because you know Jacotech's got that penalty as well. And you can see Rafa absolutely catching right now. So it is do or die between these guys. Rafa probably doesn't know what penalties Blizzard and Jacotech got as well. That was almost close to another penalty from Blizzard. So he's got to keep it steady on that final lap. Who would you vote for in the chat for driver of the day? Let us know. We'll be picking our driver of the day in a second, but at the moment these two are in definite contention, as well as Rafa as well. All right, so going on to the final lap, we could potentially go for a last lap. I'm on track anyway. This is do or die between these guys. Jacotech must drive the driver of his life to make sure he doesn't lose any more positions to Rafa. Let's see if he can do it.
Yeah, Jacotech 2.8 seconds at the moment. The gap, so that's 2 tenths behind Rafa at the moment. He'll be pushing like mad. Sam has forgot to pit, so he will be disqualified. We're only going to have 5 finishers in this race, and I'm sure when he realises he will be kicking himself. Blizzard's just too far behind, braking as late as he dares, but not able to do anything about it. And I think this could be it. We've got some support in the chat for Rafa to get driver of the day. He's still pushing hard to try and get that second place. Looks like Blizzard is going to take the win after penalties. Jacotech will take it out on track. The interesting thing is going to be who will finish in that second position.
So basically it is like real life. It could be Blizzard will take the win from the Germans. Rafa is going to be hungry to take the win from Blizzard in Silverstone. We'll have to find out. But Jacotech comes across the line then. He's going to win on track, but it's not going to be enough to win on penalties. Blizzard takes the win then. Who's going to get P2? It's Rafa. Rafa gets P2 due to penalties then. Jacotech's P3. Lewis comes across the line. He comes away in 4th place. And Sam, he's going to be kicking himself. He's going to get disqualified, so that means that puts Nikitu in P5. Francis was almost close to a disqualification. Obviously, he's ghosted anyway, but luckily, his ghost pitted for him, so he's safe there. But 5 finishers. Oh my God, but what a great battle from the top 4. Sensational stuff, but Blizzard had it in the end. He's got the most wins this season so far. He's one of the favourites to win the championship, but he's got a fire on his hands with Rafa, but he's going to be under less pressure now, as if he outscores Rafa by 7 points in the next race, he will take the title in Austria. That's it. So well done to...
Yeah, and with that 18-point lead, of course, he can afford to finish second in the next 2 races, so that takes the pressure off, knowing that you don't necessarily have to win, you don't have to take the same risks, but it's going to be do or die for Rafa in the next 2 races. A good job from him, though, to get second place, though, from his 6th place on the grid.
Yes, great racing from them, and we're about to get the standings for you shortly as they come up. I'm still getting a black screen at the moment, but I do remember the standings off the top of my head. So we've got Blizzard that takes the win then from Rafa due to penalties, and then we have Jacotech in P3, and the standings are not showing, so I can't really show you that. But whilst we wait for the standings to come up, Luke, who is your driver of the day?
I think there's only one choice, really. I'm going to have to go for Blizzard. Did everything could have been asked of him, took it nice and calm. I think he knew in the end that Jacotech had an extra penalty. Just did what you've got to do when you're fighting for the championship and pulled off some fantastic moves in the early stages. If I could give it to all 4 of those who were involved in that battle in the first stint, I would.
Yeah, me too as well, and I don't think the game is allowing me to show the standings, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. But my driver of the day is, even though he's got penalties, he kept Blizzard under pressure for pretty much the whole race. It's got to be Jacotech. Unfortunately, he didn't get the win there, but he was pushing like mad. He was so close to getting his second win, but he didn't. If it wasn't for that penalty, he would have got the win. So Jacotech gets the driver of the day there. So you will get to vote when the polls come up in a few days' time for either Blizzard or Jacotech. Blizzard has got a lot of driver of the days this season as well. I think it's Jake Atek's first Driver of the Day nomination. So, or he might have got, no, did he get it one in, no, he didn't get one in USA. So it'll be his first one. So well done to him. And thanks for watching OneHubRacing in the Prestige tier. We'll be back next week for the Austrian Grand Prix, where Blizzard could take the title if he finishes 7 points better than Rafa. And we could see Red Bulls taking the Constructors' Champions for all 4 tiers. Thank you very much, Luke, for filling in for me in the commentary box last minute. Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. I think Hockenheim always shows some fantastic action, and I was glad to be a part of it. And it's going to be interesting next week. I think it's when will Red Bull take the Constructors next week, not if. Hopefully, from a selfish point of view, it'll happen in the Precision tier.
I think it's most likely going to happen, I think, in the earlier tiers, if to be honest, either in your tier or the Podium tier, or maybe the Pinnacle tier as well. So watch out next week to find out when Red Bull will take the Constructors. But you never know, they could have a blip as well. We'll have to wait and see. But join us next week in Austria. Don't forget the late night talk show on Sunday night, where you can find out all the happenings that happened in all the 4 tiers. But until now, I've been JessGames95. Luke's been Luke, and we will see you next week for some more OneHub Racing action. Good night.